Well, hello. Welcome to the Pitchy podcast. We are your hosts, James
and Stephanie.
Today is another very special episode because we have an extremely special guest that we are totally excited about to have on the show. She was a top 20 playoff contestant on season 23 of NBC's The Voice, and she was on Team Blake, stolen by Niall. And her rich and powerful tone was not only unique, distinct, beautiful, it was also so anointed. And she quickly became one of our favorite artists of the season. So we want to please welcome Tasha Jessen to the Pitchy podcast.
Hi. That was so much nice stuff. A lot of nice things.
Listen, it's all true.
All true. It is all true. Well, thank you so much, Tasha, for joining us. Stephanie and I got so excited when we heard that you wanted to come on the show. We still have to kind of pinch ourselves because we call ourselves like the little podcast that could, because when contestants reach out, we still can't believe it. We still shake our heads in disbelief.
Yeah, well, I think it's, like you can have so many podcasts, but when you listen to the people, it's the intentionality, and like you guys are so, like you genuinely listen, and it's a good balance of like constructive criticism, but also just like acknowledging like how hard it is and how beautiful everybody is in their own unique way. So like it doesn't matter how little you are, you guys are just so genuine, like we can see it like as musicians and as like humans. So it doesn't matter how many followers or people, it's the heart it's the character that matters, to be honest. So
it's so funny because I'm like, oh, Stephanie, we can get it out whenever. She said, no, James, people are waiting for this to come out. And
yeah, we were so excited.
You got to get this out. We have to stay on time.
No, we were in our little group chats like, oh my gosh, so who's doing the Pitchy podcast? Like we were so excited. We were all so excited. So like so many of us like reached out because we were like, we want to be on there. So it's
our
honor, really, to be honest.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Well, again, you all just were not only entertaining, we just feel like because we've spoken to you all throughout the season, that you all are just family. Like we just feel like we know you already, because Stephanie and I both know how personal singing is and how personal artistry in singing is. And we just felt like you were definitely one of the folks that just kind of left it all on the stage and shared your heart and your passion with not only us, but the world. Aww. And it came through. It was so amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
I tried.
Stephanie, I think we got some questions for Tasha that the inquiring minds want to know. I cannot wait to hear some of your responses, Tasha, to some of these questions. So, Stephanie, you want to go ahead and kick us off?
I sure will. Hi, Tasha.
Hi,
thank you so much for joining us.
It's my honor.
So our first question is, if people did not watch the show from the beginning, which shame on them because the blinds are incredible.
Best part.
We did see some of your story at the beginning of the season, but for those that missed it, could you share with us a little bit about what your life looked like before The Voice?
Yeah. So I am originally a refugee, a persecuted Christian refugee from Pakistan. What that means is my family basically had to flee because of religious persecution, and just our life was in danger, and my parents just decided to kind of take us and just leave to the closest place that would let us come and take shelter. And that happened to be Thailand. And we moved when I was about 13, and it was 2014. And so it was pretty little, and it was a really hard transition as like a teenager, trying to find your way into the world and like going to a completely different place where nobody speaks your language, where you have no idea where you are, and when you're going to go to school next, no one's your friend. And so it was a really lonely space. I was there for about 5 years, and I in all of that chaos, I met my husband there as well. So there were some beautiful things that came out of it. Always a blessing in disguise. And so,
Come on, Jesus.
yeah, listen, my entire journey has just been like the Lord's hand has been so evident in my life. And I really just truly believe that wherever you are is right where you're supposed to be. And so I kind of trusted that. Obviously, like there's hard stuff that happens. Like being a refugee wasn't easy. I was always the odd kid, never really fit in. My English was, I mean, like not that great. And I only learned and learned and tried to do my best and tried to stand out. Like it's boring to be basic and normal. It's so much more fun when you stand out. So,
that's right.
you know, it's just a perspective change. And so that was kind of my life. And then after 5 years of being in Thailand, my family got a chance to relocate to Canada. And so my family and I moved to Canada, but by that time, my husband and I had already been married. And so I was in the process of applying for an immigrant visa to the United States. But COVID happened and, you know, long delays happen. And I'm a Pakistani and I don't get into countries easily, especially the United States. And so my husband and I unfortunately spent a lot of time away from each other just because of borders and visas. So I finally got my chance to come into the United States. I got my visa in 2021. So I'm still fresh here. My first time ever in the States. So, and then as soon as I landed, my husband and my parents-in-law kind of just were like, no, go do your thing, go chase your dreams. And so I just for fun applied for The Voice and now I'm here. So life's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Welcome to America and welcome to The Voice.
I know. You're like, hello.
I mean, I love it and I stepped right into it. So it's a great introduction to the States. So I love it.
That's great. Something you said, Tasha, really jumped out to me because you hear so many people say, you know, as a form of survival, I did this. But you said kind of like as a form of survival, you didn't want to be basic. You wanted to kind of just come out of your shell. And that's amazing. A lot of people do the complete opposite. Like,
absolutely.
A lot of people are like, as a form of survival, I got quiet. But you were like, no, I'm not going to be basic.
I love that.
It's so boring. Why you gonna?
It is so boring.
Pick out another black outfit from my closet when I could pick out rainbow outfit. Come on.
I know that's right. Listen, James, we about to put that on a t-shirt. Basic is boring. Tasha Jessen.
So Tasha, what would you say was the best thing that came from your experience or came out of your experience with The Voice?
Yeah. I mean, I would 100% say without a doubt it was my family, like my friends that I have now. I mean, it is just so unique. It's such a unique experience that only a few people get to have. So when we were in that space to share the same thing together and to do it for a long time, I mean, it was like quarantine with musicians who have feelings.
Yes.
So we all got super, super connected. And I mean, like, got to learn each other's stories and invest in each other. Besides just being there for a music competition, it didn't feel like that anymore. And so it became a lot more personal after a little bit. So I would say like the friends and family that are friends that are now family. I mean, we still talk to this day. We have taken multiple trips down to each other and like had reunions. And so it's just a special thing that happened through the experience. I mean, like, cool, I got to sing on a crazy stage. I'm so blessed. But it's the people that I took away and the lessons that I took away from it. So that would be my takeaway so far.
Who are some of your closest people?
I'm glad you asked, James.
I want to know. Like, I know Stephanie does too.
I want to know.
Miss Kylie Dane, her and I are like besties. We are the same person, just different bodies, countries. Just the same person.
We love her.
Oh,
we love Kylie. Please tell her we said hello.
Please tell her.
I will tell her to reach out because she is just so much fun. She lives life with this lens of like everything is just fun with her. You can stop laughing around her. And Ross Clayton, he's like our dad. He is.
Ross.
Yeah.
Ooh, we love us some Ross.
Oh, so
Oh,
sweet. He is so sweet. I mean, like, he truly just like kept us together while we were getting a little cuckoo crazy held up in there.
right, right, right.
So yeah, just I mean, there's so many other people, JB, Kason, and so many people that auditioned and didn't actually like make it onto the show. Alex
Oh,
Grant,
so we heard,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
Kate Martin. There's so many people. There's so many people. We weren't like, have these like, obviously there's people that intentionally get close to each other and there's
right.
one-on-ones or three people that are really close, but we were all just like a family, and there's nobody that's like, oh yeah, like we're not going to consider you a part of this or whatever. But yeah, it was
Hmm.
all just tight knit. So
We have heard from contestant after contestant that the reason why you all become so close and literally family is
yeah.
like it is such a unique experience
Hmm.
that you can't even describe
Nope.
it and have conversations unless you've been through it
Yep.
yourself, and
That's
that's why
right.
you all have become so close.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly right. I mean, I came home and everybody was like, "How was it?" And I was like, "I don't know. I can't." And I was telling them like, "Yeah, I made lifelong friends, and I mean, these are my best friends." And everybody would look at me crazy, like, "How
Yeah,
you out
like
here making?
can't make a best friend that
How you make
fast.
best friends in a month?" But like, I can't even describe it to people because if you're not going through that same experience, it's so hard to fully put it into words. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so many other contestants we talked to said, you know what, we were backstage actually cheering each other.
oh yeah,
It's not a cutthroat competition. We were
Right.
backstage cheering each other
yeah.
Right.
on because
Right.
we were that
We were
close.
Yeah.
crying. I mean, people would come to the hotel after like people would be leaving and we would be crying. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually, like obviously we were happy for each other and like we were blessed to move forward and that was a great thing. But it was always like, "Oh my gosh, my person is leaving. I'm going to be alone." Like
Right.
Right.
so hard. It was never a competition. It was always like yeah, you go get it. You tell him. You would
Yeah.
have rehearsals together like, "Oh, you need to do this better," or "This sounds great." Like it was never of
Wow.
I love that.
it was never a thing of like, "Oh, I need to do better than this person," or whatever. It was never a
Right.
competition, really.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Yeah,
that. I love
that's
that.
great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Love it.
So our next question is, what was something that was challenging about being on The Voice?
I think I'm gonna try to say as much as I can without.
I know that's right. Do what you need to do.
Well,
We'll talk after.
We'll talk after and we'll edit that part out.
What?
okay. Well, it is really hard to also be in a small space for so long in that mindset
Mm.
because
Hmm.
Mm.
you're trying to not let it affect who you are and your character while also trying to be the best version of yourself on that stage.
Right.
I so
Wow,
hard.
Tasha, you just said a lot.
Hmm.
I have to struggle so hard about when it comes to striving because it affects my character and it affects my heart. And I think I had a really hard time of like, okay, how do I not step into this performance of like, oh, I need to do better. I constantly need to do better. This is not enough. I'm not enough. Then it becomes into like mental
Mm.
battle of I'm
Hmm.
not enough. So and
Right.
and and you fall into comparison pretty easily, and I think the Lord has done a lot of work in my heart about when my character matters or when my performance matters. And so
Wow.
Yes.
and especially with me leading worship too, that has been a struggle for a while of like striving when that's not what worship is.
Oh
Come
Lord, we
on.
can talk about this all day,
Listen.
Stephanie.
This is
Listen.
gonna go we're not
Tasha, you have no idea. I mean, yes, you do,
Yes,
yes,
you
but
do.
yes. I mean like whether you are a believer or not, it always comes down to that of like I care about like if Kylie steps on that stage, I care about her character, not her performance. About
Hmm.
what her heart has to say and not what is just coming out of here a lot of the time. So I had to just be really careful of that because I had worked so hard on not getting into that. So that was one of the hardest things. And the other thing was we have a really collaborative process of picking songs. Like, obviously, we get a say in it, but it's always collaborative. So I was not happy with my last, my playoff performance because
Mm-hmm.
I did allude to it as well because I didn't want, I knew going into it, I was like, this is not my genre, but I don't want to be contained into a box of something of a genre. So I'm going to
Right.
try my best and do it. Like, it's a challenge. Challenges have come in my life before and
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I've pushed through them, whatever. We'll get through it. And so it is a hard process of like, okay, I don't know the song. Okay, I just have to do it. There's no way around
Right.
it. So that
Right.
that was hard because you get a song and it's like, what the heck? And you go into like panic mode and you're like, I have to do this in a week and I have to do it really, really
Yes.
well. And so,
Yeah, we talked about, I'm sure you heard,
mhm,
we talked about that performance in one of our
I,
podcasts. And I was explaining to people that that song is, if it's level 1000 difficulty for so many reasons. Like when you listen to it, you don't necessarily
mhm,
catch how difficult it
yeah,
is to
I was
sing,
rapping.
but you were rapping. You were up there,
You were
and that's what
rapping.
that song
I
is.
am a rapper.
Yes, you.
I'm
Yes, and it's like learning all the millions of words in this
yeah.
song on top of, you almost need to spend as much time learning where to
Yeah.
breathe
Breathe.
in the
You're
song
so right.
in order to continue to have the breath space that you need in order to spit the way you have to spit when you're flowing with this song.
And
So, yeah, go
I,
ahead.
I, I would just like to mention like English is like my fourth language. So I would just like to say words for somebody who doesn't speak English as their first language.
You know, I never even thought about that, Tasha. Oh my
And that's what
word.
I was like, Tasha, where did you get your American accent
I,
from?
that's
Like,
my husband.
seriously. You sound like you're from
she,
Colorado.
she said that's her
I've been
husband.
practicing for 5 years, James.
Yeah, that song, I was like,
It's a lot. And
mm,
the choreography that we kind of worked on, that I mean, I was like, okay, can we like close down like shorten the walking because I
yeah,
I had to
yeah,
walk a lot and it was a very like you either get with the song and you perform the song or you stand still and it's boring. So like
Right.
I had to I mean, it was like an aisle. It was a wedding aisle and I was walking down
it
in my like
was.
heels and I had a corset on and I was like, I'm just trying to breathe.
Listen.
So a lot. It
So, like, I can't breathe. I can't walk.
I can't breathe,
English
I
is my
can't walk.
fourth language.
Absolutely. And I mean, we cut out like words from the song. Treylani, God bless our vocal coach. I owe it all to her.
Oh, everybody talks about
Oh, she's
Treylani.
Yes.
amazing, y'all. She was like, "Okay, baby, cut this word out.
We
You don't have to say every so, every it, every and. Let's cut this out." And I mean, you
right.
were so
Right.
right. I had to physically when I was doing my rehearsal with Niall, we both literally stood next to each other and we looked at the page and we were like, okay, da 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 da, breathe. Da, da, and I
Breathe.
wrote it down. I wrote it all down. But it is a hard song, and also just to mention that you have a specific time limit. Like you have
Right.
to do a song in 2 minutes and 55 seconds, and nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so
Right.
we had to ramp up that tempo a little bit because I had to
Oh, that's
fit the time,
Right.
and so not only was I rapping in speed point five. Okay, I I was rapping like 2 times faster, and so it was a lot. And I don't want to come off as like making excuses and blaming other things. Like it was
you are not. You are not. That's
yeah,
real. What you're saying is real.
it is. But I just want to also mention that I'm very grateful to be able to do a song like that and show so many different things of my what what I am capable of possibly doing. That is so
Yes.
cool. I think it's versatile. I think it's coachable. It's
Yes.
malleable. And so I was great
Yes.
and it was so much fun. I was just having a good time and I was like, whatever, man. Like,
Exactly,
like
exactly. And I hope that artists in season 24 listen to
yeah,
this, because there somebody might be in the same position as you, being given a song or having to choose between songs and then landing on a song that is not necessarily in their wheelhouse, but saying, "You know
yeah,
what? I'm going to take this as a
yeah,
challenge. I'm going to do my best with it. I'm going to do it with grace. I'm going to do it to the best of my
yeah,
capability. I'm going to leave it all out on the stage and let the cards fall where they may."
And that's what you
So
yeah,
did.
that's fantastic.
yeah.
You should be very proud of
Thank
yourself. I
you.
hope you
Absolutely,
are.
Thank
Tasha.
you. Like,
Yeah.
I made
All right, Tasha.
so far, so I'm grateful.
Good. Good. Good.
What? Oh, I can't wait to hear this answer. It's one of my favorite questions. Tasha, what was your favorite performance? Two-part
Mhm.
question. What was your favorite performance of yours and of another artist? And you're allowed to have more than one.
Multiples. You can have multiples for others. You can even have multiples for yourself.
Ugh, this is so hard. I I think
Okay, first of yours. What was your favorite performance? Like, which performance were you most proud
I'm
of
proud of
yours?
Take Me to Church.
Yes.
Knockouts
Yes.
for a lot of us were our best performances. Because that was one of the rounds that we actually, like, a lot of us were like, okay, we get to choose like, we specifically get to choose a song from a narrowed down list, and it was like all up to us, kind of.
Okay.
Right.
So Take Me to Church was one of my favorites, and Hosier is one of my favorite artists. So
Mhm.
doing that song and then receiving a compliment from Niall saying Hosier would be really proud was really, really,
Yes.
I was really honored. And then that became my, like, performance set where I got stolen by Niall. So that was a really, and I was
Yes.
really, really proud of that because that one also had so many words.
Incredible
And let
performance.
me say about that performance, kudos to you, because you had to follow an artist that was very expressive and very a lot, who happened to be kneeling on the stage for a good 5-10 seconds after his performance was
I was,
over, which is
I
fine.
was,
That's his choice. But it was just kind of like, you know Tasha got to sing after you, right?
I
Like,
was scared. I was so scared. I'm not gonna lie.
but
Yeah.
you
Thank
gave.
you.
But you gave.
Tasha,
Woo,
you were like,
Thank you.
hand me the mic. And you just
hand me the mic.
transformed.
Give me
Like,
the mic.
give me a mic.
I'm gonna be.
And Tasha, it was
Thank
ridiculous.
you. Thank you. I really went into the mindset of like, okay, I'm just going to do my song. Like, he did great and he's probably going to win this. But okay, if this is my last performance, I'm going to make it count.
Yeah, or I'm gonna make somebody steal me,
Yes!
which is what you did.
Which happened.
Which is what you
It
did.
was, I think it was a really special one for me. I did really like River as well, just because that kind of set the foundation a little bit. And that was, it's
Mhm.
been one of my favorite songs for a long time. And every time I would watch The Voice, I'd be like, that would be a good song to sing. So
Yes.
it just so happened that I got that song, and I was like, hallelujah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
And it
All right.
sounded good on you. It sounded good on you.
Okay, Tasha. Favorite performance that was not
oh
yours.
my gosh.
And you
You
can
can
give us more than
Okay,
one.
cool. So Kate Kate Martin's All the Man I Need. Oh,
come on.
wow. I mean, I was like, we were sitting in the back, like, just watching her do her thing, and we are like, wow, what is happening?
I'm gonna ask you, Tasha, did you hear pitch issues? Because I
I don't
didn't.
know. I don't know what was happening because I was sitting in the back, like, where?
Pitch where? Pitch where?
Hey, everyone was like,
What? You know what?
that's not what I
I have
heard.
not Kate get pitchy once. Because she is, I mean, she is quite literally pitch perfect. Every time you would hear her, and she loved doing that song as well because she did it
Yeah.
to her boyfriend, and it was special.
Yeah.
I also loved Kate and Ali Keck's Must Have Been Love. Wow. Wow.
You're giving me all my favorite
Because
performances.
y'all got the ear too.
Oh,
That
oh.
was so good.
We were
Allie, like I Stephanie will tell you I was heartbroken
same.
that no one stole Allie.
Same.
James was big hurt. We were big hurt. We were big hurt.
I was like, are you kidding me? That voice?
She should have been stolen by Blake, and we were all shocked. Like, we were always like, oh, no way, like, it was just knowing that somebody is going to have to leave. But with Al and Kate, we were like, there is no way. And we were confident that they were going to be the playoff pass. So, shocking to see that they weren't, because, I mean, Allie was just incredible to keep up with Kate. She held her own with so much.
Yeah.
Oh, they were matched. They were evenly matched. 1000%. James and I were crazy over that one.
Yeah, I watched that one back quite a few times.
Me too. Yeah, it's on my recommended because I'm watching that.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Yes, I think All by Myself by Kylie was one of my favorite. A challenge, and what's crazy is this is a little tea. She was like, oh, I can do it a step up from the original, and we said, what? right. She was practicing, and she was like, I think I could do it half step higher, and I was like, babe, please please
go somewhere and sit down. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Her voice is insane.
No, she is so good. I mean, she used to just be like singing to us in the courtyard or in just like our rooms, and we would just be like captivated by her because she can just do so much. Her voice is just so flexible and so just.
And so we hear like she's like a bedroom singer, like she had no performance experience.
And I just rewatched her blind audition, and she came out like, and I was just like, oh my, like I have to remember this girl has not performed really anywhere, and the way that she came out was so confident, and her voice was so clear and so true and so clean,
so pure, so cut through. I love that about her.
Yes.
One of my favorites. I have so many more, but I feel like I'm gonna cap it at that right now. We can talk.
Okay.
I have so many.
That sounds good. We can't wait to hear about the rest of them off camera. So you had the pleasure of working with two coaches this season. You worked with Coach Blake and you worked with Coach Niall. Can you tell us the best thing about working with each of them?
So Blake is super funny, actually. Like, he's just like that off camera. And when we were like singing together, I mean, he is so like, I don't even know. Here go my English again.
That's all right.
He is when he's giving you a compliment, it's not just like, oh, you have a beautiful voice. He was like, no, you sound like this, and this is what you remind me of, and this is what you're like. Was
very specific. Yeah.
And I was like, not just like saying stuff to say stuff.
Right.
When we were doing like our battle rehearsal, he was so like, you could just, I would look up at his face time to time while singing, and he was like into it. He was like, okay, I'm listening to what they're doing. And he wouldn't say a lot, but whenever he would speak about something we needed to change, it was very specific. And I was like, yes, tell me what to do. Because
right.
And
that
was, so he was super genuine. He was not just messing around. So I really liked that about him. And he was so funny. And he was so like, he called me his little buddy. And that was really special. So that's what I love about Blake. And with Niall, oh man, he gets into it. I mean, he got out of his chair in his rehearsal and he started singing with me. He was like, let's do this. And Paul, can we do this? I mean, we were like producing at that point. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it felt like we were working. We forgot the cameras were on and we were like working. We were like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
He is so like good with his ears when it production and when it comes to breaking down things. And even with like, he's like, what if we had harmonies come in here? And so like that was his idea in here, where we changed the last chorus of just like a cappella with the choir kind of kept
Right.
happening at the end, and it was just me kind of ad-libbing and riffing. It was his idea. He
Right.
completely changed that. So
Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome. He gave you space to
absolutely,
breathe. 'Cause he was like, this baby has not
yes,
breathed in like the past 2 minutes. Give her some space where she can
yes,
breathe. Choir, come on, choir.
yes. He was like,
Please.
okay, and then he a bar because he was like, you need time to breathe here. So they're both
Yeah.
similar in that way, where they're listening and they're like, okay, let's get to work. How can we make you better? And
Right.
Niall was super personal with us. Like, he would check up on us all the time. Like, hey, how's your song going? Send me a
Oh,
practice video. And we're like, sir,
wow.
don't you have other stuff to do?
Like, you want me to
Wow.
send you a
Yes,
video, Mr. Now
yes.
Horn?
I was
Okay.
shocked. I was like, I'm so nervous right now just to even send you a practice video. And
Right.
so they were both just super intentional. And that's what I love about people in general. Like, you care,
Yes.
and that's what's important.
That's
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
That's great.
I think that I know for me, I was super impressed with Niall this
yeah.
season. This being his first season, we didn't really know what to expect. But especially when Shaw moved into like the battle rounds, we got a chance to see him in
Yeah.
action. And even during the blinds, you would see him like playing the drums to the music or like strumming a guitar,
Yeah.
whatever. You could see his musical mind going. And then, like I said, we could see a little bit more of that in the battles and in the knockouts. And he really seemed to have some really great and useful ideas and feedback for you guys. And he really did seem super genuine and super like personal with you all, which was incredible.
Absolutely. And he's just like that off camera as well. Like, just so everybody knows, everything that people see about the coaches on camera, I'm so grateful, and I'm so happy to say that they're the same way off camera.
That's
Oh, that's good
wonderful.
to hear.
That's
Just,
wonderful.
And you are not the first person that's told us that.
Yes.
You were like, you know what, these are real, genuine people. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all superstars in their own right,
yeah,
but
Right.
they're kind of real
yeah,
people too.
absolutely.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
so wonderful to know.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Okay, so you did an incredible battle duet with EJ, Tracks of My Tears. I love the modern Motown. Like you took a
Yeah.
Motown song and you modernized it,
Yeah.
and but you all were the thing about Motown that I love is you have to be respectful to the melody,
Mhm.
and because it's so distinctive, it's
Right.
and you and EJ killed it. But my question for you is, who other than EJ
Mhm.
would you want to do a duet with from this season?
Wow, from a season, not just from the team?
From this,
No,
it
anybody
could be
from this
anyone
yeah.
from the entire season.
Dang, that's hard.
But we have to know who they are. Like, I know there are people that didn't, maybe that didn't make the show.
Okay.
But all the way back to blinds, all the way through the end, like
top 40.
who
Yeah,
who
yeah,
would you
yeah.
want to collab with?
Wow, that is so tough. I've never thought about that. I mean, I've thought about my team before, because when we were
Yeah.
about to get our battle pairings, we were like, oh, wonder who we're gonna get paired with, but I've never thought
Right.
season.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, I've sang a lot with Kylie, so I'm really comfortable with. I would love to do a duet with her. We thought that we were
God,
gonna be together.
Ooh.
We thought we were gonna.
I wouldn't
Okay.
be able to take it. That'd be too much for me. Tasha, that would be too much. You and Kylie singing together? Are you kidding me?
Oh, we will have to release some like videos that we've taken, but yeah,
Please.
I mean, we used to sing all the time together, because I think her tone and my tone, I mean, obviously it's different, but when we used to sing together and like harmonize together, it was very like
Yeah.
similar, and it kind of felt like sister harmonies. So
Come on.
I loved singing with her, but I would love to sing with Jamar. I think
Come on.
Jamar, if you're listening.
Oh. Jamar, we're going to need for you to get on that,
man.
please,
But
because we need to hear a Jamar and Tasha collabo immediately. And bring your guitar, sir. Bring your guitar.
Jamar was insane.
Ooh,
insane.
Yeah, he is really, really good. And especially like after we did Smokey Robinson and then he did Cruisin' by Smokey Robinson.
yes,
Right.
yes, yes,
No,
yes. Oh,
I
James.
would love to. I would love
Tasha and Jamar are
Come, ooh,
that's just too much.
Yeah, I would love
because
to.
the soul in your throat and the
Yes.
soul in his throat coming together, letting that all mix.
All that
Come on.
oil.
Oh, come on, Jesus.
Anointing.
Yes.
The all.
The oh.
Come on.
Yes.
I would love to.
Woo!
Hey, Jamar.
That'd be that'd be scary. That'd be scary incredible. That'd be
Oh,
scary.
yeah.
All right. So the last question I have before we go to our rapid fire round, I have for you, Tasha, is what is the best lesson you walked away with from your experience on The Voice?
Yeah, I think going back into what I was explaining earlier, when it comes to just knowing your heart and knowing your voice is just as important as the other 39 people on the show is very important. I had to learn that a lot because I have performed a lot of my life in competitions and schools and stuff like that. And like I said, I used to be a very striving person. Like I have enough, I have to be enough. And so when I heard all these like people, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not qualified to be here. And I just getting out of that headspace and like that was my takeaway. Like, no, I have a seat at the table just as much as anybody else.
Absolutely.
And I said this a lot in the competition to different contestants because we would all get in this space and like always matters to the one. If it gets to that one person that needs to hear River and hear
Come on.
like
wow, she's saying something, Stephanie. She's saying something.
when I was
Don't start preaching it on here, Tasha.
Start shaking.
Yeah, we need like a little but when
need some chords, doop doop.
When I was rehearsing, that's where I was like, that was my heart cry because I sang that song to myself over and over again when it talks about in my darkness I remember I think it says Mama's word reoccurred to me, surrender to the good Lord and he'll wipe your slate clean. Like singing that over and over again and like that heart cry of like, yeah, I need to get to this place. And if that got to one person that needed to hear it on the other end of the screen, I was like, that's enough.
Yeah.
And so
amen.
If it matters, it matters to the one. You don't have to, get to everybody because that's not possible. It's too much striving. It's exhausting. And so if it gets to the one right person and impacts their life in the right way, that's enough for me. So that was my biggest lesson, to know that I matter and my voice matters just as much as anybody else's.
You are enough.
Yes.
You are enough.
Yes.
And we have heard very similar things from other artists. They were like, you know what? I have a better respect of myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you all had to.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You would be lost if you didn't.
Absolutely.
If you didn't know that you were enough.
Absolutely. And just reaching, what an incredible and profound statement to just reach one person, the humility in that statement. Like, it's all worth it if one person was touched. And I know that, James, that's something you and I can move forward with. Like,
absolutely.
If one person, if one artist, if one contestant hears our podcast and hears our critique, hears our feedback, and can be encouraged like that, all the other 59 episodes were worth it. It's all worth it.
No,
it's all
Thank
worth
you,
it.
Tasha.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's
Thank you, because
that's
you
a
just
blessing.
spoke that life into us. You really
absolutely.
did. Thank you.
Just to confirm that as well, like that's why we love you guys so much. To hear such good remarks, like after I was so scared of people seeing so many of my performance. Like Take Me to Church, when you're so proud of something and you're like, oh, I really hope people like this, and to hear like James just like go crazy with the compliments. After Noiva did that, I felt so special, and I felt so seen and like valued, and that's what matters. Like, you know,
Yeah.
some people, if one person sees it, that's enough. So,
As because we're all singers here, and as singers, it is our blessing and sometimes our curse that we're such feelers,
yeah,
right? We feel everything.
Yes.
yeah.
It is one of the greatest gifts, but one of the, like, some of the times we're like, oh, why do I
It's a burden.
feeling so
Yeah.
much? You know, it is
It's
a
a
burden.
burden.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
human to not
Absolutely.
feel, so I would rather that.
That's
Thank you
right.
guys.
Yeah.
That's
You're
right.
so kind.
All right, Stephanie.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh
Let's do it.
gosh. Okay.
Ready.
Well, let's get down to the
Okay.
meat and potatoes, as I like to call it. Stephanie,
Okay.
rapid fire questions. Let's go. Let's go.
Rapid fire. I'm going to make a statement or ask a question, and you just give us the first thing that comes to
my
mind.
gosh.
Are you
Yeah,
ready?
sure.
Okay. First one. What is your favorite app on your phone? Anything.
Probably TikTok.
Come on, TikTok. Hey. Next one. What is your favorite movie genre? Comedy, romance?
Romantic comedies.
Ooh, and they're coming back.
They are. I love them so much.
They are making their way back. What is your favorite karaoke song?
Oh, Dancing Queen.
Come
Really?
on! Young and sweet, only 17. Yes.
Wow.
Come on. Friday
I love
night
the
and the lights are
randomness of it all.
low.
That is,
Yes.
I would
That
have
is
never
the
thought in a
joint.
million years. I would have never
Somebody
thought.
needs to remix that.
It's
Somebody
fun.
needs to do it like, oh, I could hear an acoustic version of that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll post it later.
Oh, Tasha. Tasha's like, don't give me any ideas, Stephanie.
Listen. We're gonna let people know where to find you later, so we'll be looking out for it.
I love it.
Next one. What is your dream vacation location?
Greece.
Ooh, come on, Mediterranean.
Yes, I need the sun. The melanin.
Come on. Yes. Next one. What is your Starbucks order?
Oh, wow. I like a venti iced matcha latte made with oat milk with 2 pumps of honey blend.
Come on, honey.
I love that she's so specific. She
Yes.
even speaks fluent Starbucks.
Yes.
Coffee, some matcha it is, baby.
Love it. What is the album that you always come back to?
Yeba Dawn.
Oh
Always.
no!
It's Yeba.
Oh my gosh!
Yeba always.
Stop it, Tasha. No. I'm about to end this podcast right now. That was disrespectful because I wasn't ready for that, Tasha. I was not ready.
After saying Dancing Queen, I really just said Yeba.
Listen. We are seriously. I'm not playing, James. We fitting to do a whole podcast episode on Yeba.
On Dawn.
We love her so
my
much.
God.
We love her so much.
She is like the greatest singer of, in my opinion, of the last.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
It does not get better than Yeba.
I will never get tired. Yeba can have my life. I will live my life.
Listen.
Stephanie, oh my gosh. Tasha, did you hear what she dropped on when she dropped the acoustic on Spotify when she did the whole?
Yeah. Have you guys heard the Electric Lady session?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Louis Bag, are you joking?
Oh!
Are you joking?
Stop it, Tasha. Tasha, I probably put that on repeat.
No. Listen,
that version of Louis Bag, I repeated, like, especially the end.
Why am I worshiping to the end of Louis Bag? I'm like worshiping and crying at the same time. Like,
I don't blame you. I mean, the stuff that she can do, but from here, not just like here, but from here. I'm like, girl.
From here. from
I
here. And I will.
Because let me tell you something, and that's why I was so proud of Kala Jamar and Manessa. I thought they did Yeba very proud.
Ooh,
I thought they did Yeba so proud because
when Vanessa,
when they did Same Drug, I
Yes, when Vanessa came in with the woo, I said,
oh yes, so good.
but I will share something with you about Dawn.
Yes.
I listened the day that it came out.
I
The very
remember
day
that.
that it came out, that Friday, I was playing it all morning in my house. Like that's all my son was listening to. We were playing it all morning.
Yep.
That afternoon, I got a text message from one of my best friends saying that her father had passed away, who I was very close to. That day, that album was a balm to my heart. Because the grief that she was experiencing and speaking of and singing through in this album blessed me so. Like it was that song already, or the album was already so in my spirit, and I was loving it. It took on a whole new meaning after I learned of his passing. So that album has such a special
Evergreen
place
got
in
me
my
through
heart.
my mother's passing. I just kept it on repeat. Like I just kept playing the video back alone because the video for Evergreen alone was just everything. But yes, my gosh, we can talk about Yeba all day, but we might have all day. Are we done our questions, Stephanie?
Let me collect my.
Got us, Tasha.
Sorry, y'all. That
Yeba
got a chokehold on me.
Ooh, listen. Let me ask this last question and get myself together because I'm about to lose it. What is your dream celebrity collaboration?
Oh, I mean,
say it.
Yeba would be pretty awesome. Would be.
Oh, you and Yeba? Like seriously, Tasha? Like going back to You Are Enough? Like seriously? Seriously?
Your tones together. Listen.
Actually, when I did my River audition, and I'm so sad they didn't show that part because I quite literally fell to the floor. They were asking me, they were like, "Oh, so like, what do you listen to?" And I was like, Yeba, Tori Kelly, Jasmine Sullivan, and they were Chance.
You just wait, stop. Stephanie.
All of them.
Stephanie, she just did the trifecta.
She did the trifecta.
Jeez, you did not put Yeba, Tori, and Jasmine in the same sentence. I can't. I'm done with you, Tasha. Interview over.
Listen, if she come out her mouth and say Fantasia Barrino, I got to click the stop button.
Ma'am, you're on some Fantasia? Oh my
Listen.
God. Underrated. Tasha, ain't nobody talking about Fantasia up in here.
And they need to.
Up my glasses.
He said, meow.
Listen, when she come out with this color purple this Christmas.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm with you.
You can have all my money. That's where all my Christmas money is going, to see Fantasia up in the theater over and over.
Ain't nobody getting no Christmas presents.
That's right. You can get a bag of popcorn and an icy while we sit here and watch this movie.
Oh my gosh, I love that you guys love the same artist. This is so cool.
Oh yeah.
So, I told them I tried.
Because they're artists, Tasha, as are you.
Yes.
We and I know this is running long, but I don't care. Stephanie and I often remark this season how complete the artistry was.
Yes.
With so many, like you said, with the 40 singers, even the ones that didn't even, there were even ones that made it. Like the first person that pops in my head is like JB. Like insane. Like insane.
Like my older.
Like I still play his Joni Mitchell audition.
Yes.
Like I still play it back.
So good.
Like it was so like we kept saying like the the little moth in the house. We kept saying that the bench was so deep. Like
it was.
Like every team was stacked with incredible artists after incredible, and it wasn't just good singers. You all were
No,
Oh,
artists.
thanks.
So Tasha, your artistry to me, like it came before you.
Oh,
like
Come on.
and that's your gifted. That was you and your giftedness, right? And I know how hard it is, like to emote or to show and to have it come through the screen, especially.
Right.
But I remember we just kept remarking about you, like how genuine we felt
Yes.
every one of your performances were.
Yes.
And
nice.
and it really came through the TV, and that's not easy to
That
do.
is not easy.
Oh, thank you.
But to
Oh.
hear you say, I had to stay true
Yeah.
to who
We
I
felt
was.
that. We felt it.
Yeah.
We felt it.
It was truly genuine, and I can't say that we felt that with everyone on the show.
And we didn't. I was going to say.
And I can't say that, and that's neither here nor there, neither good
Right.
nor bad. That's just how we felt.
Yeah.
But Tasha, you pulled on our heartstrings this
For
season.
real.
You really did.
Yay.
So Tasha, we want to thank you so much. This has been such a joy. It has been
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
Like again, we feel even closer to you now than we ever did before.
Yay.
And Stephanie and I would always talk before, like, the artist comes on and say, "Oh my gosh, what are they going to be like?" But you are just your spirit. You just have such a joyful, giving spirit, and
Yes.
we just love you. We really, really love you, and we wish you so much success and continued opportunities to use your gift.
Yes.
Okay, so Tasha, before we close, can you please let our audience know anything you want to share about, what's coming up next, or where they can keep up with you on the socials?
Yeah.
We want to.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we've been working, and so I really felt like River was a really special performance to me and to my heart, and kind of really gave me a head start that I needed. So it's a really foundational song and performance for me. So I really wanted to record it and get my version out there. So that should be happening sometime soon. And
Oh my gosh, maybe Mr. Bridges can hear it.
I would really hope so. That would be really cool.
That'd be crazy.
We gonna tag him.
Yes. All this Pitchy podcast, just all the comments.
Yes.
I love it. And my husband and I actually are working on an original at the moment, so we definitely want to get that out sometime soon. And so definitely keep an eye out for that. You can follow along on my socials. Find me on Instagram, TikTok, all the internet's places at Tasha Jessen. So I should be announcing stuff soon. I'm really excited about it.
I love it. I love it.
Excited
And
for you.
We can't wait. We cannot wait.
Thank
Yes.
Okay, Stephanie. So tell the Pitchy Podcast audience what they need to know.
Okay, so don't forget to follow and subscribe at the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. And we are on YouTube, so please search for the Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more.
Do it.
Do it.
Tasha, thank you so much again for spending your evening with us. And
there's no other
we
way
will
I would be spending.
definitely be staying in touch with you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.